Will the senator yield for a question?
No, I will not. Oh, I'm sorry, Senator Cornyn.
Yield for a question?
If I could finish my thought.
Senator, I think
That's a tell.
That's a tell.
I thought it was Senator Blumenthal. If I could just finish my thought, Mr. Chairman. I get it. You disagree with Bruen. You disagree with Dobbs. I get it. The answer is not to destroy the Supreme Court.
Will the senator yield for a question?
I will not. But the way to change a ruling of the Supreme Court is to go find the right case and persuade them. And that's my final point. I appreciate it all the time. Now I'll yield.
The senator's aware that there was an assassination attempt on a sitting Supreme Court justice, Justice Kavanaugh. You're aware of that, certainly.
Yes.
Do you have an opinion about what the impact on an unstable mind might be when the majority leader of the United States Senate stands up in front of the Supreme Court of the United States and makes a threat against the court? What the impact might be on an unstable mind?
Well, it could be, I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, but I think most of us, all of us have common sense. I think it would be extraordinary. And I think all this heated rhetoric about ethics, about Clarence Thomas being an Uncle Tom, I mean, come on. I think it just destroys the institution. And again, this bill isn't going to pass, and I think we all know that. And I still believe my Democratic colleagues, if they had the votes, wouldn't bring it. Just like if we got down to it, they wouldn't get rid of the filibuster. They wouldn't get rid of the blue slip. We've given away enough power. I get why they have to advocate for it, but when it came down to the lick log, they wouldn't do it. But all this rhetoric has consequences. That's my only point. Because while I'm upset with this bill, I would be more upset if my Democratic colleagues were trying to move it when they have the votes. Now, they don't have the votes. You got the votes to get it out of here. But this thing's dead as fried chicken on the Senate floor, and it's dead as fried chicken in the House. And maybe I'm naive, but I believe in my heart of hearts that if you did have the votes and you could pass this bill, which we all know would destroy the United States Supreme Court as an institution, you wouldn't do it. Maybe I'm naive. It's still a dangerous bill. And we all know it. The press knows it. This bill's about the Groff case, the Harvard case. It's about Dobbs. We all know what a tell is. Even if you've never played poker, you know what a tell is. A tell is behavior that gives unintended information about what you really think. There are plenty of tells about what this bill is really about. I still can't get over that Senator Schumer went to the steps of the United States Supreme Court and said the following, and I'm going to quote him because it gives me chills of the wrong kind. Senator Schumer said, quote, "I want to tell you, Gorsuch," not Justice Gorsuch, Gorsuch. "I want to tell you, Gorsuch. I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price. You won't know what hit you if you go forward with these awful decisions." Oh, my God. Later, the next day, our colleague had a chance to fix his remarks on the Senate floor. Senator Schumer said here, right, it's in the record, there would be political consequences. Political consequences for President Trump and Senate Republicans. If the Supreme Court with newly confirmed justices, what bigger tell do you want? This is what some of my colleagues said in their brief. It's another tell. This is in a brief to the United States Supreme Court. Quote, "The Supreme Court is not well, and the people know it. Perhaps the court can heal itself before the public demands it be restructured in order to reduce the influence of politics." That's what this bill's all about. And I get it. You disagree with opinions of the United States Supreme Court. There's not a dummy on this Judiciary Committee. But you don't have to be Oliver Wendell Scalia to figure out that this legislation is meant to be a court-killing machine. For example, it would allow any jackaloon out there in America in a tinfoil hat whose own dog thinks he's an utter nutter to file a motion to recuse the United States Supreme Court justice. Now, what could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? And my Democratic colleagues know.